Steel was a hyper meta hero back when his ultimate was a bit different. In today's meta, he is okay, if you ask me, with some cards and with some considerations that really make him still viable. Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a hero building guide. I am Sylphin. In this game, you're going to see me playing him as a support hero, using the same deck. Now we start off with a dummy ward over here in the enemy's off lane right here. So it provides great vision for the mid laner that's coming in here to gank, while we will put another ward over here later on. Now, here we are up against probably the strongest mid laner in the game currently, and that is Morgesh. We're going to see here that it's okay. It works out okay, even though we are melee and we're not another support. It still works okay. Now, the very first cards we start off with the Mender's Shepherd's File and a healer token. We have that ward out there to protect us from the mid laner and the jungler, and that is okay. That should be good enough for now. Until we get 2 CP, we go back and then we replace that health potion with our first ward. So right off the bat, I start off with the shield. As you can see, is his E ability that provides a nice barrier to abilities and projectiles. I'm going to start with that ability here because this Morgesh, when she comes to engage or kind of do her thing, I just simply put down the shield, and that all of her projectiles and abilities, besides her mark, will be blocked by it. Plus, it applies a slow to any heroes that touch it, so she's gonna have to be like, do I want to walk through it, get slowed, and then have to walk through it again to get slowed? That's a great ability that I'm just going to have to really kind of be careful. If she is going to start doing her things, really push up, I'm going to put down my shield and kind of prevent her from doing that. The second ability that we get is our Q, our Bull Rush. With our shield, we charge forward a good amount and deal quite a significant damage as well, knocking heroes back and to the sides. This is his key ability, besides his ultimate, that really does a lot. Now here, I'm kind of saving it, but I'm waiting for level 3 because we're gonna do a combo here against this Morgesh that's gonna work really well, and maybe secure a kill or 2 here. By the way, if you haven't noticed already, we are indeed laning up against Nabori, a absolutely fantastic community member, guys. Gamers Fitness Group. Please go check out his channel on YouTube, youtube.com/Gamers Fitness Group. Absolutely fantastic. What a guy. I gotta meet him. He's buff. I'm not. I'm tall. He's short. He's just a fantastic guy. Please go and check him out. Now, why do we start off with the Shepherd's File, Mender's File, and that health potion? The health potion is for me, and the Shepherd Mender's File is also for me, but also for the carry. Nice rounded build there with that ward that we put down earlier. Provides us with a good, diverse ability to support our carry. Now that we have 3 CP, I go back and I totally change it up. I get my proper ward that you're seeing there, the Guardian's ward, and a Circlet of Health. Especially against this Morgesh, the Circlet Health is going to be absolutely phenomenal. Just providing me and my carry with health regen. Very, very powerful. Obviously, that ward gives us Shadow Wards, which is exactly what we want. When you are in this lane, you can see here that now that my Twin Blast is kind of able to poke at that Morgesh, I go back, I go into their off jungle and put down that ward there. Here, I'm trying to be sneaky. I'm like, can we do something? I'm not sure. Now that we have our last ability, our right click, that is his Bulwark. This provides great damage mitigation from all non-AoE abilities. All non-AoE abilities, if you are facing them with your shield, using a shield properly, it will reduce damage by 60, 70, and 80%. It's phenomenal. You can tank towers with this, tank ultimates. You just do a crazy ton with it. The reason why Steel isn't that bad of an idea against a Morigesh, if she does choose to use her ultimate, you can just straight up use her shield and block 60, 70, 80% of the damage. Very, very strong against her, including obviously that shield to block her hive, stuff like that. Now, the combo here that I'm trying to do, that I'm looking to do against the Morigesh is my bull rush through the minions to get to the Morigesh, hopefully hit her, apply some damage. She'll get kind of knocked up. I use my shield behind her to slow her retreat down. But if that doesn't go too well and she just kind of engages on me, I can just use my shield while backing up into my carry and basically taking very little damage. Very nice combo here that maybe you will get to see. Here in this lane, we're doing A-okay against a Morigesh. Very good. So here you go. There is the combo there. And I do that. Kind of put her in her place. Just kind of trying to put the pressure on. It's more mind games than anything. Even though this Kwang here does it, I use my shield there until my Q is up, and then I turn around and Q out of there. Very nice, even though that Kwang did a whole bunch of stuff. And then here you can see I'm trying to basic attack because I'm like, no, my shield, my shield. That's what I was trying to do, and it would have even done less damage if I had my shield up. Now, here's a 3-person gank that I kind of do okay with protecting my Twin Blast. I put down my shield, which Abori just kind of goes straight around. The Gideon actually gets slowed down a little bit. Maybe that did screw him up a bit. I Bull Rush the Kwang. I kind of hit him closer to my Twin Blast. It's the only thing with Bull Rush. If you're already at a disadvantage, it kind of just ends up helping the enemy a lot of the time. But that still kind of disrupted him, maybe from using an ability. And I used my shield there to try to mitigate any damage that was coming straight on me. Steel, you gotta really kind of be in control when you are trying to support your carry, kind of making sure that your Bull Rush hits somebody in the proper direction. And you have to take into account the slight lag that there is when he brings out his shield, he puts it close to him, and then he charges forward. There's a slight delay to the ability, and boy does it mess you up. You really got to get used to that. Now, always be putting down wards here. I like to put my ward right about there on my my side of the map, just so that you can actually see the buff. You can see down into there, and you can see all the way here. It's a perfect spot. A little bit off to the side here, and over there in the off jungle, as you saw before. Now, the next card that we get is Quenching Scales. Absolutely fantastic card here. Provides mana regen for yourself and other people. And well, we'll explain what that whole thing was about there. And gives health to you and nearby allies. So this replaces the circlet of health, as you can use it to gain health, while also giving you mana regen, so you can then continue to use Quenching Scales. So I'm just kind of replacing it. It's very, very powerful here in the early game, so that's why we're getting it as fast as we can. Now, what did I just use there, where I leapt into the air? That is Steel's ultimate shield slam. You leap into the air, come charging down, dealing some damage and stunning. I completely whiff it, as I'm not sure exactly what happened, but it deals a fairly significant amount of damage. The damage scaling is okay if you put a lot of power on Steel. It actually works really, really quite well. It does deal a lot of damage. You can use this to great effect against this Morigesh. Now I am the bane of her existence. I just save that ultimate. As soon as she kind of steps a little too close, shield slam, that knocks her up. You reposition behind your target, use your Bull Rush to knock them forward into your team, and then you secure the kill. After you Bull Rush, you can use your shield, your shield to put that as a barrier that slows the enemy from retreating. The combo now is astronomical, and this is a showcase of why Steel all of a sudden when he gets his ultimate is fantastic. Ultimate into a reposition, into a Bull Rush, into my shield to slow him down, and we get the kill. Just like that, you can eliminate Morigesh, a Countess off lane, anybody with that cannot escape at all, you can really secure their death. You know, people that have great escapes, like a Howitzer with his ultimate, he can just kind of just whoop, oh, up and away, or a Gideon. Doesn't really work all that well against a Morigesh though. That's basically basically a delete button. If your carry can utilize your control, basically a delete combo. In terms of upgrading your abilities, it depends on your situation. I'm choosing to upgrade my right click, my shield, just so that I can rush forward and kind of do my thing on this Morigesh. As you can see, we're still laning at my 18-minute mark. It's pretty crazy. I can use my Bulwark, mitigate a whole bunch of damage, and stuff like that. The next one I upgrade is actually my Q, my Bull Rush, just so that when I do my combo, just deal a little bit more damage to this Morigesh, and we can make stuff happen. So here's my ultimate. Again, I whiff it. Basically because he used to have the range on his ultimate was much farther, and I'm just still trying to get used to it. There you can see I use my Quenching Scales to protect my Twin Blast, give him some health before that Morigesh ultimate, and I might have saved him there. Now, the next card that we get is straight into another absolute must on a support, Honor the Pure. Team Shield for a whole bunch to save your teammates in dire situations. The 3 cards any supports needs here in the early game: the proper ward, Quenching Scales first, and then Honor the Pure. Now the name for this build is Captain Steel because he controls, he calls the shots. He's kind of like, he's a control freak. So here I control this Yin. I didn't even need to use my Bull Rush, and we got the kill. Exactly what you are there for, to secure the enemy in place, determine the battlefield, and then your team can go to town. Now, one thing you need to know, you can tank Raptors and Orb Prime very well. As long as your team here, well, Chimera is even better because he just regens a health, but for you can get their attention, just use your shield and mitigate a whole bunch of damage. Now, in this engagement, I unfortunately was a little bit late, but I still missed my ultimate, I think. Nope, I get the Belka, control her very well, as you can see there. Very easy kill for my team. That's your job. As Steel, you either initiate on the enemy team to get somebody out of position, to just give that situational advantage to your team, or like that, take somebody out. Ultimate into a reposition while they're stunned, into the Bull Rush to put them in a disadvantageous position. Now the next card we get is a Teleblink, so that we can blink forward and kind of mitigate the fact that our ultimate has such a short range. We come in here, I try to get this Belka. Unfortunately, the team doesn't really follow up, and we don't really get the kill. I use my Honor the Pure to mitigate some of that great cleave damage from this Yin, but unfortunately, I'm all out of mana now, just because the Teleblink into the ultimate, into the Bull Rush, into the shield, really takes up a lot of mana. Being not that high in hero level as a support hurts support fighters like Richter and Steel quite a bit. So you really have to, at this point, really pay attention to how much mana you have and when you use your abilities. As you can see there, the Teleblink, absolutely fantastic here on Steel. Basically almost a must because of his reworked ultimate. Such a short range. You basically need the Teleblink to blink forward, catch the enemy off catch the enemy off surprise, and ult in on them. Basically a must. As you can see, very effective. Now check this out. Teleblink up to the ult on the Kwang, to the Bull Rush to secure the kill. At this point, this Gideon's going to town, and I'm like, that's okay. Honor the Pure, and we are a-okay. Fantastic, guys. Steel with the Teleblink. As long as you can do stuff like that to catch people out of position, it works really, really well. Here, I'm not sure why I'm not using my shield, but as you can see, unfortunately, not able to do anything here. with this yin as I go down. Fantastic. Again, showcase the blink into that control that Steel has. Now, I want you to see what I do here as a melee support for my team. Watch, I'm at half health because I kind of went there. We almost got the kill on that Kwong here in the mid lane. And right now, watch me as I'm like, ooh, yikes. So I'm going to go up. I'm going to use Honor the Pure. Not actually really the best use of Honor the Pure there. I should have just used my Quenching Scales. We weren't taking damage, so I'm not sure why I used the Honor the Pure there. But had I not used it, I would have really helped give my team some health there. Even though we do have Orb Prime. You can see I'm kind of staying in the back. I'm waiting for that opportunity to get in there with my Teleblink and my ultimate. Plus, I'm trying to get that 3% health and mana per second from the Orb Prime to kick in. And as you can see, it's obviously kicking in. Now, watch my positioning here. I'm kind of off to the side, kind of going back and forth. And they know that. You look how far they are back because they know I can do some stuff. I do believe I blink in here at some point and try something. But with the Countess split pushing here, watch me as I blink forward. They're like, ooh, what do we do? And I'm like, there's two people here. Well, I'm going to do this into my Bull Rush forward, but I was stunned there. I used my shield, but that is enough for my team to do. It was enough for my team to get the two-person pick there. I controlled them. My team took advantage of it, and we got the two-person pick for the final advantage to take the win. So it's nuts, guys. Steel is still fantastic. He is absolutely still fantastic. There's just ways of going about him that you really need to take into consideration. So here I see the Gideon. He kind of gets melted, and I'm like, oh, people are low. I kind of run up, use my Quenching Scales for a little bit of health. There you go. Fantastic game again, guys. Shout out to Nabori here. Shout to Nabori. He kicked my butt in the previous game, and we happened to go up against him in this one. So the rest of the build that you didn't see in this game goes something like this. First off, get the Centurion because you're obviously a support. You need that health to tank stuff there in the late game. Now the rest of the build here is very situational. It's really all up to you. You saw the Quenching Scales, the Honor the Pure, the Teleblink, and our Guardian's Ward. Now after that, you get two of the following three. You can either get this Stasis Gem, which is absolutely fantastic. You can ult in on the enemy. You don't have to use their Bull Rush right after that. You really don't have to. Say, for example, there is a Decker Fence that happens after your ultimate. You don't really need the Bull Rush because the fence is already controlling them. But if you're really, really going for it, you get the long-range Teleblink into a Stasis Gem. Then you will be protected while your team follows up. Fantastic card. Again, counters more Gesh, counters a lot of things. So Stasis Gem is amazing. If you get this option, though, it's assuming that you're going to be a little bit more, you're not getting control, so you can get all of this power, which, ooh, that's going to hurt on that's going to really hurt on your ult, which is still fantastic. We have Purity Sensor here for Aurora, somebody like Aurora. You can get this. For other lots of debuffy team comps, you can get this Purity Sensor with a whole bunch of health because you probably need that. Or you can get this Thermobond. Determination. Heal for 12% of your max health over 4 seconds after being hit by stun, brute, or knock-up. If you have a high CC comp on the enemy team, you can use this to really kind of be that tank that your team needs. It's just absolutely fantastic. So two out of those is the options. You can get two of the three, followed up by a Tempered Plate here for a whole bunch of health and guard, and then this Guardian's Ward to replace this Guardian's Ward with a whole bunch of health. So lots of health, just because that is what the math says, to make sure you have the most effective HP against both basic and ability damage. Final build: Guardian's Ward, Tempered Plate, Quenching Scales, Honor the Pure, and two of and 2 of these 3 down here, Stasis Gem, Purity Sensor, and Thermobond. In the early game, you can take Steel in the off lane. You can grab this health potion and this healer token and go in the off lane. You can then go into the Silver Spear for the for a couple lesser healths, and then go into your Guardian's Ward. I like this idea because it provides, if you're doing that, you need a little bit more damage, because you know you're gonna have a support in the off lane as well. You keep this Silver Spear as much as possible as well. Now there's a Thunder Cleaver in here because viewers, while I was playing Steel, was like, put in a Thunder Cleaver. It's in there if you're in the off lane, and you can just be a part. You can just get that cleave, maybe help in some engagements and help in wave clear if you are in the off lane. So that option is there. But other than that, if you are going in the off lane, there's probably another support or pseudo support. So that means you can definitely go for the Stasis Gem with all of that damage. There's the deck, guys. Let me know what you think down in the comments. What do you think about Steel? What do you think of this deck? I very much like Steel. He's really quite cool. You just need to play him and have the rest of your team utilize what he brings to the table. Please, ladies and gentlemen, like the video if you like it, dislike it if you dislike it, share it with the community, and of course, guys, subscribe. You guys like this content, found it useful, please subscribe so I can do it for you in the future. Till next time, like always, stay optimistic and positive.